Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. This is our 83rd webinar in our talk series. A special welcome to speaker Candida for making the time to be with us here today. Before we introduce our speaker and hand over to Candida, a little information for those who were not there earlier and have joined us today. Rtambhara Wellness is a collective of like-minded individuals that look at wellness in a holistic way, not just the body, but the mind as well, and all through the practice of knowledge, wisdom that comes from our ancient Indian scripture and heritage. We conduct corporate programs and retreats for wellness that looks at personal transformation, and the details are available on the website rtambharawellness.com. We also conduct webinars regularly, and our previous talks are uploaded on YouTube under Rtambhara Wellness. If you would like to be a part of a community, please post your contact details, cell number, email ID, so that we can add you to our groups. In today's session, we have a talk by Ms. Candida, followed by question answer. Please feel free to post your questions on the chat function, and Candida will answer your questions after the talk. So let's get on with today's session and know about Candid Tales India on a Motorcycle. May I now request our Director of Marketing, Mr. Premnath, to introduce our speaker for today.
Thank you, Reshmi. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce Candida, an Indian girl riding around the world on motorcycle. She's a storyteller, accidental content creator, inspirational speaker, motorcycle travel manager, and artist. Candida rode a motorcycle around India in 2015, covering 32,000 kilometers. In 2018, she rode from India to Australia through 10 countries and covering 29,200 kilometers. Candida has been leading 45 plus motorcycle tours around the world. She has found meaning in empowering women and rediscovering humanity through adventure travel. Author Aditi Rao has written a book about her travel tales called Candid Tales, India on a Motorcycle. This book gives us an insight about the actual 5-month-long journey of Candida, exploring the trail to discover eccentric places and heartwarming cultures. In an age of fictitious superheroes, this book introduces the younger generation to a real-life heroine of rare spirit and fearless heart to inspire and electrify them to follow their dreams. Over to you, Candida.
Thank you for the introduction, Prem, and thank you, Reshmi, for hosting this. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here talking to you all on a weekend. So I'll start off with sharing my screen and pictures. So 1 second. Yeah, are you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, like you mentioned in the introduction, so a little bit about me was in 2015, after working in the corporate sector for about 5 years, I quit my job, and I really loved this idea of going around India on my motorcycle because that's something I've always dreamt about doing. But being in the corporate 9 to 8 job, I never had the opportunity of traveling so much. So when I got a 3-month sabbatical of work in 2016, I took my motorcycle Blue, which was a Royal Enfield 350 Thunderbird, and yeah, I started riding around India. And this is just one picture from there. And there was a lot of news articles and stuff just about my journey. And this is one picture from Ladakh back in those days. And basically, I just set off to explore our beautiful country, which is India, because once a traveler told me that India is not a country, it's more like a continent, because we have everything from the snow-capped mountains to the beaches. We have sand dunes, we have salt flats, we have everything here. So when everybody else in my class or in my college wanted to go abroad and explore other countries, I said, why not see India first and then go elsewhere? So that's where this idea came from. And then that's how I started writing. And then when I was at this place called Gurez, which is just 2 kilometers away from the Pakistan border, at a checkpost was when the this is a school on the right hand side. So a class was going on and all these children were actually learning. But when they saw me at the checkpost and I took off my helmet and they realized it was a girl, they were so happy to see a woman riding a motorcycle. So all of them ran out of the classroom and they wanted rides on the motorcycle. And this was the moment when I realized that from then onwards, I was not only riding for myself, but riding to inspire other women around India to follow their dreams and do different things. And I also realized that only when you get to experience moments like this, you know what's behind the veil. So when you look at this photo, all you see is like this woman behind the veil. But because I was there at that moment, I know how excited they were, how it sparked like a new uh, like all the girls had this spark in their eyes and they were telling me that they want to be like me and stuff like that. So this is the only thing that happens once you travel. It opens up this whole new world for you once you get out there and experience things. So after that, yeah, after exploring India and covering 32,000 kilometers in 7 months, was when I rode through Cambodia, delivering laptops in villages that cars and stuff couldn't go to. So yeah, I was doing a lot of social work and teaching children English and training them on how to use computers and stuff like that through very remote villages in Cambodia. So these are just some of those pictures from the travel. This was my friends that I was riding through Cambodia. And then when I got back from Cambodia, I did not know what to do next because I quit my finance job in the corporate sector. And at that time in 2015, there was no job for a woman motorcyclist. So I had to create a job for myself. And that's when I realized that since I've already seen India uh, and explored every inch of India like by myself, I know so many of these unexplored places that no one else knows. And that's when I started leading tours across India for foreigners as well. So I started showing foreigners India, and I started taking Indians to different countries. So this is a picture from Bali. So I started leading tours, motorcycle tours in different countries. Yeah, so these are just some of the tours. So that's what I would like to tell everyone, that even if you have a dream of doing something, you should just like follow your passion and work really hard. And in this modern world of technology and stuff, there's so many options, there's so many career, and you can create a career option out of anything that you love doing. So that's what I started doing. And there were times when I was riding motorcycles which are like 5 times heavier than me, much bigger than me. This is this bike, the BMW 1200G, is one of my most favorite bikes. I rode this across South Africa in 2017, again leading a group of like 5 people. And yeah, every experience is different and I get to learn so much out of it. And in 2017, I also got to be a part of this event in the US called Change Your World, wherein they selected four of us from all different parts of the world for a program. And So basically, we had to choose something to help the world and do something better. So this program was founded in memory of this boy named Alistair Farland. So as you can see in the picture, he was a biker too, and he was the same age as me. And he was on a world trip, and in North America, just after the event in North America, he met with an accident and died. And that's when I realized that uh, now I don't just want to ride for myself, but I want to do good things along the way as well. And that's when I realized that it's every parent's wish that if their son or daughter goes on a world trip to come back home safe. And Alistair couldn't get back home safe. So that's when I took the initiative of riding from India to Australia and finishing his world ride. And also along the way, I was promoting safety and safe travel. Um, so that's how the idea of India to Australia came about. And I was really happy that within 2 months of me planning this whole trip, I was able to execute it. And just one day before I could leave to Australia, I posted it on Instagram. And luckily, there were more than 150 people that came to Vidana Sauda in Bangalore at 6 a.m. in the morning, for the flag off. And that's the day I realized that, again, this is much greater than myself. And now I'm going to be riding for all these people that came and supported me in this endeavor, and that I should complete the ride for them and for Alistair. And yeah, and it just gave me a whole lot of boost. And then, yes, so every day I was meeting a lot of different groups in different places. So this is a picture from Hyderabad. This one is from Vizag. Yeah, this is again a college in Vizag. So a lot of different people, different motorcycling groups and stuff is what I met on the road. And I was very, very surprised when this whole group of people was standing on the highway in like crazy heat, peak heat in the afternoon, waiting for me to pass by that road because they read that I'm going to be taking this road to Australia. So it was a very heartwarming experience that so many people around India were so very supportive and were so encouraging, because usually when a girl is taking up such a trip, everyone would always say, why are you doing a trip like this? It's not safe. India is not safe. A lot of bad things will happen to you and stuff. But on this trip, I realized that people were actually so supportive. The world has changed so much more, and a lot of people are coming forward to help. And yeah, that really motivated me. And yeah, this is another picture from Orissa at one of the colleges. Yeah, again, a lot of pictures along the way. And yeah, the journey wasn't very easy. There were days when it was tough as well, because yeah, obviously I had to pass through 10 different countries, and a lot of countries did not have like proper roads. So there was like gravel and rocks and dirt roads, and plus the weight of the bike, and all that could go wrong. But luckily, nothing much happened. And like, since you're a wellness group, I spoke to Mahesh about this one, saying that um, I am a very spiritual person, and before embarking on such a big trip, I always like pray, and I always feel that there's a force that's protecting me and keeping me safe. And with that is what I plan my trips and go with the flow. So, yep. And yeah, then yeah, then these are just pictures from along the way from Bhutan. Again, this picture is very, very special for me, is because like, you know, the Tiger Nest Trail is a very hectic trek. And for someone that has dislocated, like I have dislocated my knee like 13 or 14 times already. So when the doctors told me that I can't walk anymore, I decided to pick up a motorcycle. And because of the motorcycle, I got to do such amazing things. But when I look back at this picture, this trek was very, very intense, very, very painful. But looking back, I was so glad that I made it to the top and got to see such beauty. And uh, again, life gives us there's a lot of obstacles that comes in anyone's life, but it's up to you how to face those obstacles and keep pushing ahead. There'll be a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, but if you have the determination and the will to do it, you can definitely achieve things. So yeah, this is again pictures from Bhutan. This one's from Thailand. Again, Thailand. Yeah, just a lot of pretty pictures from along the way. This is the golden pagodas in Myanmar. And again, like I said, that my message while I was writing was not just to write for myself, but also to do good along the way. So this is another picture from Laos where I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I was teaching these girls English every day. And yeah, just trying to make an impact and helping people wherever I could. So yeah, and then this is another very special picture of me in Cambodia, where staying in a very, very remote location, and it was my birthday. And because they did not have any cake or anything, they actually cut open a pumpkin and they lit candles around, and that's what I cut for my birthday. So even though I do not have any friends and family, but yeah, uh, the people that you meet along the way, when they do such special things for you, it definitely feels like you found family along the way. And then again, this is another special picture from Indonesia, wherein I was lost after riding from like 6 a.m. in the morning till like 5 in the evening. I ended up on this field while I was following Google Maps, and yeah, I was really lost. And then one of these guys came up to me and asked me where I was going, and I just told him that I need to find my hotel, and he was like, "Come with me, I'll show you." And then he immediately opened Google Translate, and then he was typing and he was saying, "Come to my house, I will show you the way." And so I trusted him, and I went to his house, and within like 5 minutes, the entire village was there, uh, uh, greeting me and giving me things and just welcoming me to their village. So it is instances like this that you learn to trust people. Otherwise, sometimes you just with all the news that goes around in this world, you always think that everyone is bad and everyone wishes bad things for you, but only when you start traveling, you tend to realize who to trust and stuff like that. So it was a very good experience. I had like tea with all of them, and they started dancing to Hindi music, and they just felt made me feel very welcome after a long time. And from here, all of them accompanied me, like in heavy rains, to my hotel, and I got there safe at 8 p.m. So this is just one of the stories. And this is another picture from Mount Bromo, which is in Indonesia. It's an active volcano, and I got to ride my motorcycle up to it. So very special picture again. And this is another one from Malaysia. So everyone knows the Petronas Twin Towers. And even I grew up seeing a lot of pictures of it. And it was an amazing moment when I had my bike parked at this building because like the number plate on my bike is a K registered. So Karnataka and the Twin Towers together is definitely a special moment. And yep, yeah, with all the special and good moments, there's also like tough days. And this was one of the toughest days on the journey, is because the day previous to this, I actually slipped and fell in the bathroom and hurt my wrist. And I thought I had a broken wrist actually, and I had a plaster on, but I was still riding the motorcycle. And again, Google Maps directed me on this really bad road, which was actually on national forest, and there was absolutely no one on this road while we were riding here. So yeah, as you can see, it's like complete mountains and very, very slippery slush, and plus my broken wrist. So I really couldn't take the weight of the motorcycle, so I kept dropping it. And after dropping it for at least like 5-6 times, I decided that I'm just going to sleep at the side of the motorcycle, and if someone comes, then I would ask for help. So this was the day when I actually slept the entire night near the motorcycle, but no one came till the next morning because no one actually takes this route. So experiences like this actually make you stronger. But yeah, the next day was when I had the energy to get back up and out of this situation. And yeah, so apart from that, there's a lot of like dusty trails. Um, Again, a couple of falls along the way. And um, yeah, through Indonesia, I was riding through 15 days of flooded waters. I also missed the tsunami by like one day. And yeah, well, again, what I want to say is like, um, again, the power of the universe is like protecting you if you ask for help. And there are good days and bad days again, and it's up to you how you handle those situations and you keep pushing ahead. Because again, here there were so many days when I thought to myself, what am I doing? Why can't I just go back home and be in my normal happy life? Why am I doing this to myself, torturing myself? But then again, I kept on thinking about Alistair. I kept on thinking about all the people that are supporting me and want to see me finish the ride, and I kept pushing myself for them and for the greater cause and helping more people along the way. So yeah, this is just some of the pictures. And but yeah, none of that was the toughest thing that I've ever done. But the toughest thing that I actually did was when I got to Bali. And I realized that if I had to ship the bike from Bali to Perth, Australia, the bike has to be brand new. So basically, after riding for almost 4 months right now, and after the bike being super, super dirty, they wanted the bike to be like insanely clean, like a brand new bike. Like, so when I got to Bali, within 3 days, I had to take out each and every part of the bike, and all the I had to clean the entire bike with a toothbrush and with whatever I could find to make it like sparkling new again. So 3 full days of cleaning and completely stripping of the bike, which I had never ever done before. So again, life throws you like crazy situations, and it's up to you how you handle those situations. And again, I was so tired of cleaning and cleaning and cleaning the bike. And then it started raining. So I just kept the bike there and I said that at least you're helping me clean the bike now and I don't have to do it myself. But even after this entire storm that came through and helped clean the bike was still not clean. And thankfully, someone came up with like a magic solution, wherein after I started putting that magic solution, all the parts became sparkling clean. So yeah, that really helped. But yeah, so this is how the bike looked after like 3 days of insane cleaning. And then yeah, I put it on a ship. And a lot of people always ask me this question of how did you ride from India to Australia? Did you ride your bike on the water and stuff? So I always show them this picture and like laugh about how I actually rode this Bajaj scooter from Bali to Australia. But yeah, basically, this is just so while I was in Bali waiting for the bike to get shipped to Australia, I was invited by one of the um, diving diving organizations on Gili, and I also got my dive certification done. So I got like open water dive course certification, and I was going to be doing my master's as well. So this is just what happens when you start exploring the world, and opportunities come to you. And yeah, so I never ever thought I would be like a dive master, but yeah, that happened. And yeah, this is when I finally got my motorcycle in Australia. So yeah, one of the most happiest moments. Again, this is one of the picture from Australia. Australia is like is this country that has crazy animals, flora, wildlife is insane. You find the strangest, most craziest creatures on the planet, and yeah, it was a very good experience. And as you know, that Australia is such a huge continent, and it's so vast. And so there were a lot of times when I actually did not see anybody for 4 to 5 days, and I was camping out in the wilderness, in the deserts. This is one of those pictures. Again, while I was in Australia, it made me realize how important food and water is, and all the other worldly positions is like not important at all. So actually, when I got to Australia, I got rid of all my clothes and stuff like that, and I just um, carried only the most important stuff, that was food, water, and petrol. So yeah, again, yeah, every night when I would step out, there would be tons of scorpions, snakes, kangaroos, a lot of different stuff. So Australia is like a very amazing country, and you get to see a lot. So this is like the Nullarbor, which is like again the southern road of Australia, and yeah, it's quite lonely and stuff. So again, yeah, this is on Australia's longest straight road. It was very amazing riding through here. And yeah, by now you would know that I've mastered clicking pictures on the tripod, and yeah, clicking, putting it on the timer, and running, and taking the shots. So yeah, pretty amazing. So again, when I left my job in the corporate world, um, I never knew what I was going to do next. But once I started riding a motorcycle, I got to know that there's so many different career opportunities for me, from not just riding a motorcycle and creating content, to leading motorcycle tours, to actually becoming better at photography and doing a lot of photography work for other companies, as well as winning the best shot photography at a competition in the US, to so many different opportunities, to acting, to modeling, to so many things along the way. I never knew that I could do all of that until I took that first step and quit my job. And yeah, this is again just me chilling with a kangaroo in Australia. Special moment again. And yeah, this is just the route that I took. So I left from Bangalore on the 25th of September 2018. And yeah, I took the coastal route and I went up to the northeast. And from there, I went into Bhutan and I got back to the northeast and I went to 4 states of the northeast and then exited into Myanmar. And from Myanmar into Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, back into Thailand and Malaysia, and then Singapore. And then from Singapore, I took boat, a tiny ferry ride to Indonesia. And again, I rode on like multiple islands in Indonesia until I got to Bali. And till Bali was like um, complete roads. So it was all riding. And only once I got to Bali, from Bali, I shipped the motorcycle to Perth, Australia. And again, I rode from Perth to Sydney, Australia. And this completed like 29,200 kilometers of riding my riding my motorcycle across 10 different countries. And again, when I reached the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, I was greeted by Alistair's mom, which was the most special moment for me at the end of this trip, is because I did this for her son. And yeah, completing a trip for someone that I was inspired by, and uh, yeah, it was just very special. And again, like a lot of people that were following me on the journey, I had a lot of people uh, waiting for me at the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and it was a unique moment as well. And yeah, so basically from India to, so when I planned this trip of riding from India to Australia, I thought it would be only a 4-month ride. But I I also realized that if it's only 4 months, then I'm only going to be riding, and not really going to be helping anyone, which is why I actually took 8 months to finish the ride. And I did it very, very slow. I spent a lot of time in different countries, in different villages. And yeah, I was happy to uh, go to Sydney and actually stay with the family and spend some quality time with them. And that's when I also realized that indeed I actually finished the ride for Alistair's, because you remember I told you about how I got called to do a dive course. So that was Alistair's favorite thing to do. He loved diving. And even when I reached just one day before I could reach reach Sydney Harbour Bridge, I also got to do skydiving. So these were all his favorite things that I had actually completed on my journey and I knew nothing about. So it was so random, but as I spent time with him, I got to know more about him. And I also got to meet all his best friends on the way to Sydney. So all in all, it was a very special ride for me. And yeah, so I'm done with the pictures. I'm just going to show you like a quick video. made it to the last point on this journey, which is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I still can't believe I'm here after all these months, but I'm so glad that I made it. Yep. So that was a small video from the 8th month ride. Yeah. So that's just about the presentation. If you'll have any questions, feel free to ask away.